Welcome. I want to appreciate you coming out because you're my first actual guest. Shout out to Camilla. She was part of my test pod, but she's in the background there throwing gang signs.
Yes,
But
yes.
okay, so I know you, but I don't really think I know you too well. So would you mind sharing me your roots? Like, where are you from? Are you born here?
Yeah. Born and raised in Scarborough,
Yeah.
but 100% Caribbean. So that's what I represent. Yeah, man. Went to school there in Scarborough. Did some boxing, well, downtown actually. There was no boxing in Scarborough when I was boxing back in the day. So
Right. Okay.
I wish it was around. It would have saved me from a lot of trouble. But eventually I did find boxing, at the right time. But I had to go all the way downtown for years or to the
Okay.
West End. And yeah, man, that's that was the beginning.
What part of Scarborough are you from?
Markham and Ellesmere.
That's Woburn.
Woburn area, yeah. Tuxedo Court area, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
you wouldn't know unless you're from Scarborough, man. Like, these guys wouldn't know.
Yeah. Is that buffet still there? That Panda buffet?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I
I
remember
don't
some
think so.
giant panda sign there. I just can't remember what it was.
I personally would never eat there. No disrespect to them, but
Yeah, you would never.
I don't think it's still there though.
Okay, all right. So, when did you start your school? Because I know I met you kind of when you just started it, but was there a specific date?
Which location did you come to? I don't remember.
The one you're at right now. The
Okay, so that's-
Midland and Ellesmere or Progress.
Yeah. So that's no, that's not our first place. That's our third spot.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
I'm
our
way behind then.
Yeah, we've been there for 6 years. So you came in the beginning. But before that, we were down the street for a couple years, and then before that, I was somewhere else, back of a rec center,
Okay.
2 years. So
Okay, so is the one that I met you at the main location, or is it just one of like you said?
yeah, that's where we're at right now. We were trying to expand right before the lockdown, and that basically just put everything on hold, And then we've just basically just been building back since things became back to normal,
Okay. And when did you have you done amateur boxing? Is there any leagues that I never heard of that you once sparred in?
Yeah. So I was a competitive amateur boxer for a gym called Cabbage Town, it's a famous gym.
Yeah, actually, I heard about Cabbage
Yeah.
Town.
So they've been around for 45 plus years, something like that, maybe even longer.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a historical gym in Canada, and I was there. I was there for 4 years, and I was somewhere else a year and before and after that too. But
Okay.
most of the boxing I did was at Cabbage Town. All of amateur boxing is under Boxing Ontario, which is the sanctioning governing body of the sport, and you have to be registered as a boxer, and you have to be registered with a club in order to compete.
Okay. Are you comfortable sharing your record?
My record, I had a winning record. I had a winning record.
1-0?
I had about 16 fights.
Okay.
Yeah, so I won most of them.
Okay. Anyone that you can share with me that you deeply regret losing?
See, we don't look at things like that in boxing. Sometimes a win is a loss is the best thing for you. You know what I mean? Because you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? So you take it hard in the moment, but then you realize, okay, these are just some things I got to work on to improve and get better. So I wouldn't say I regret any of them because I actually got better after a loss.
Okay. What's your fight style? How do you approach?
I would say I was more of what you would say like a boxer, counter puncher. So a lot of movement, very fast. I like to wait for my opponent to throw first, and then I would throw afterwards. You know what I mean? Because people tend to be vulnerable after they throw their punches.
Okay.
There's a lot of openings. So that was more of my style. A lot of movement and just a lot of counter punching.
Okay. Have you ever gone up against someone who, even though you said you were participating in leagues and stuff, but a super hard hitter that kind of overwhelmed you, I guess?
Of course, yeah, man. I mean, honestly, the hardest fights I had was in the gym, in sparring, because when we're training with our club members, other fighters, guys and girls, sometimes you have someone who's a lot bigger than you, somebody who's smaller than you, somebody who's faster than you. So you're training with all different styles, all different people, different experience levels, strength levels, speed levels, skill levels. So you get exposed to everything in training before you actually go into competition.
Okay.
So, but yeah, man, I mean, in the early days, I was getting my butt kicked, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And but then you learn from it, and that's what I mean. Back in the days, the coaches, if you they want to see how you take a beating, like how if you would like retreat or you would like give up or you'd quit. And they normally, back in the days, anyways, they wouldn't normally invest their time if they saw you were like that kind of person. But if you show them, hey, like, you know what I mean, I can take some licks and still keep coming and still try my best.
Okay.
That's what they're looking for. Then they would invest some time in you. That's the old days. It's not really like that as much nowadays, because it's more about keeping people in the gym and keeping a lot of members and keeping them happy and paying the bills. You know what I mean?
Right. But I would assume that for the fighters you believe have talent, and do you kind of set them up in a way, like have them get their butts kicked and see how they, like you said, how they react to adversity?
Yeah, it's very nuanced, man. Sparring is not to basically. I mean, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, having people spar is almost like playing chess with human beings.
Okay.
You know, you have to kind of match them appropriately. You have to you got to maneuver them. You got to look for a lot of different things, man. It's a very complex thing, and not everybody, you know, unless you're an experienced coach, should be actually having people spar. You know what I mean? Because that's where most of the learning happens.
Right.
So, yeah, you put them in circumstances where you want to challenge them but not overwhelm them or have them get discouraged or get hurt. Our number one rule is, you know, not to leave the ring feeling hurt or get beat up or discouraged. You want everybody actually feeling good after they're done, you know?
Okay.
And that's normally the case, to be honest. Like, we try to make that their experience, you know?
So everybody in this room has seen boxing movies, and there's always the protagonist or whatever, and they're like beating the crap out of each other. That's not what boxing really is. Like, you're not supposed to get whacked like all upside the head.
No, not at all. So, I mean, the philosophy of boxing is to hit and not get hit.
Right.
So easier said than done. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been in the ring. Yeah. It's not that easy, but that's the goal, to give as much punishment and take as little in return. And that requires a lot of skill. That requires stamina. That requires timing. It requires a lot. So it is an art. It's a science. You know what I mean? They call it a sweet science for a reason.
Right.
And to get to that level, it takes a lot.
Okay. I'll be honest. How was that as a student? Because you taught me, 10 classes? Be honest. How was that as a student?
You were good, man. I mean, I'll tell you the truth, man. You have heavy hands, man. He could knock some dudes out, trust me. If he really was. So you guys be good, man. You know what I mean? He's got heavy hands. I do remember that. He has heavy hands, man.
Okay, all right.
Soft hands. Maybe.
Heavy hands. Okay, all right, man. I appreciate that. What did I do terribly? It can't all be positive.
Stop coming.
That's number one. Chill. Stop coming. Honestly, I don't remember anything terrible. I mean, for where you were at as a beginner, I mean, you were like on good track. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't look at things as terrible. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause this is where you are. This is where you need to be. You know, and step by step.
How many students do you have, like, total, like, right now?
So in my club, I have what we call like recreational fighters, those who don't compete. And then we have the competitive fighters. So the registered competitive fighters, probably about maybe 13, 14.
Yeah, okay.
But everyone in our gym spars, which is, I'm actually pretty happy. We're like the last, grassroots, old school gym, you know what I mean? Like, where everybody spars, guys, girls, young, old.
Right.
You come to the gym, you're going to want to throw down. And everybody throws down.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I got a girl, she's like she's 99 pounds. She's about that tall, and she's a monster.
Yeah?
She's a monster, yeah.
Like monster knockout artist, or?
She can hurt somebody, man.
Yeah.
She's amazing. We love her, man. She's awesome.
Okay. Okay, be honest. How many of your students are doing it just to kind of look good, like be good? And how many are actually taking the art form seriously?
I mean, boxing is not a sport where if that's your intention, I just want to look good, you're not going to last too long, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Most people are coming because, to be honest, they might have some insecurities, or they've been bullied, or, they want some kind of empowerment, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is a good thing. So they're coming to the right place to get that.
Right. Okay.
So I find that we have a really good culture in our gym where everybody's actually, we're La Familia, we're like a family. So we come together, everyone supports each other, everybody's encouraging each other, and any bad vibes, we kill that one time. You know what I mean? That's my job.
Right.
Especially I'm like a father figure too to a lot of these youth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right. Okay.
we don't allow egos and all that type of stuff. That's not a part of our culture.
Okay. I seen a video of yours. You were talking about the 80-20 rule. Would you mind elaborating on that and how it helps with boxing?
Yeah. So the 80-20 rule was something that was first talked about by this old Italian economist back in the days. So he said that 80% of the wealth was, 20%, 80% of the wealth was in 20% of the people.
Okay.
And he kind of applied this mathematical formula to everything. And in boxing, yeah, it's very similar. It's basically like 20% of what you do can get you 80% of the results that you're trying to achieve.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it basically means you got to focus on the right things, the right things, and do those things to get the most benefit, as opposed to doing other things too much, which will not give you the benefit you're looking for. Okay. So, for example, a part of our supplementary training is running. And that's outside of the gym. So a lot of guys used to overrun, do the running excessively. Like one guy used to tell me, "Hey, coach, man, I just ran 15K." I'm like, dude, you don't need to run 15K. We're not training for a marathon. Right. You know what I'm saying? 5K is good, 6, 7K is enough. And he used to run all the time. I'm like, that's too much running. So you're focusing on the other stuff, the supplementary stuff. That's not going to take you to where you need to go. You know what I mean? That's just one example, but there are many examples.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. I correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard the 80-20 rule was something about like 20% effort yields 80% results.
Right. Yeah. So that's another right. part of it. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. A question I have for you personally is, how does boxing improve someone's like mental fortitude in like life? Like, do you feel like boxing kind of makes you rock solid, I guess? Absolutely. Boxing is good for so there's another, again, back to the 80-20. A lot of the famous trainers would say boxing is 80% mental, 20% physical. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big ratio. So what does that actually mean? 80% mental. That's, you know what I mean? Like, how do you unpack that? Right. So a lot of that, yeah, I talked to my fighters about that, to the members about that. That mental game, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. It's a big topic, man. It's a big topic. But going back to our question was, how does boxing make you? Can you repeat that again? Well, no, that was kind of my question. Like, just training in boxing, like, how does it improve you in terms of like how you think? Say you're an accountant, and you're doing boxing training just to stay in shape and learn the ropes and everything. How do you feel like it'll make you a better accountant? Like mentally, I guess. Well, that's a funny example of I don't want boxing to make a better accountant. Could be a bad example, but no, I could just say. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, having the discipline, setting goals, right, and learning how to be focused, how to focus on one thing and not be distracted. I mean, that's a huge thing to me. Right. Not getting distracted by different things when you're focusing on the task. Okay. Also, we talk in the gym a lot about like perception of things, so something that might be like, we talk about taking a loss, right? Like, how do you perceive that? Some people might take it as, oh man, I lost, I sucked, it's not for me. Right, Another person would be like, okay, you know what, I lost, but some things that I've learned in the process and some things I gotta improve on, and now I know what those things are. You know what I mean? Right. So how we perceive things is big. You know what I mean, in terms of our success and moving forward. Is the keto diet sustainable for boxers? Yeah, keto. I'm not big on diets like that, to tell you the truth, man. Okay. The keto diet is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like only protein, right? Yeah, no carbohydrates. No carbo. No carbohydrates and literally no sugar as well. So sugarless, carbohydrates diet. So the thing is this: boxers, we do have to. A lot of fighters have the thing with having to make a weight cut. Right. And in a short period of time, which is not healthy, but sometimes it is what it is. They got to do what they got to do. And I know I've had guys who, they wouldn't go 100% keto, but yeah, they definitely would have to cut out the carbs. But ideally, no. I mean, we're athletes, man. We're burning a lot of energy. We need those carbs. But I'm personally not a fan of these type of trendy new diets
going on nowadays, you know, especially for athletes.
That was a segue to my next question was, what is the best boxing diet? Like, what should an amateur boxer eat and drink every day to kind of, you know, keep himself sharp physically?
The thing is, so for me, first and foremost is health before anything else. So you should be looking at your health before your weight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm a Dr. Sebi fan. I'm into these type of things. You know what I mean? Natural, unprocessed stuff.
Oh yeah, Dr. Sebi. He passed away recently, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm living a Dr. Sebi life because that's too hardcore and that's some serious discipline. I would like to reach that stage one day, but yeah, my thing to my guys and my girls in the gym, everybody in the gym, is just eat, you know, healthy as much as you can, unprocessed food. If you can just avoid like pop, refined sugar, fried processed food, I mean, you're like 99% there. And your weight will be where it needs to be, and you'll have the nutrition and the calories that you need. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. For me, it's more of a health thing.
Right.
Before a diet thing, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, let's be real. That's very difficult in these days.
It's freaking hard, man. Like even for me, like it's just because we're getting bombarded all the time with all these different ads and, you know.
Like everything comes in a box.
Every goddamn thing comes in a box, you know what I mean? So it's tough, man. It's tough. So
with ingredients that we can't even read properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm gonna go a different route. Who's your GOAT? Who's your boxing GOAT?
I'm gonna say Floyd Money Mayweather.
You know, I actually agree with you. I haven't really I haven't seen every Floyd fight, but the few that I have seen, he's untouchable. Like he's really, really good. And he is like, for a guy who parties and all this stuff, like a rapper would party, he is the most disciplined human being,
he's very
I think, on this earth.
You know, and a lot of people would debate that because they said, oh, well, he only had 50 fights and there's other fighters who were undefeated for like 80 fights or other guys, Sugar Ray Roberts and all these different guys. But for me, it's not just what he did in the ring. It's also his business smarts. You know what I'm saying? And how he kind of, he did change the game in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? He became his own boss.
Right.
He kind of, he changed the culture of boxing a lot. So to me, that counts as well, you know, as opposed to just looking good in the ring, you know?
So why do you think he was able to kind of, forge his own path while so many other boxers of, African-American descent, Haitian descent, Hispanic descent can't do that? Like they get jibbed by their promoters and their managers, but Floyd was able to kind of, shed all that. But I'm curious to know, like, how did he do that? Because I couldn't really find anything about.
So Floyd was blessed, man. I mean, first of all, he was trained by his father, who was also a professional fighter, and his uncle Roger, who was also a professional fighter. So he had two guys who've been in the game, and his uncle was a world champion. He had them, his family, in his corner and guiding him. So it's not that Floyd is like the smartest guy in the world. I'm not saying he's not smart. He is very smart. But when your father was a professional fighter in the game and your uncle was a world champion, and you have those two people in your corner, then you have a big head start. You have a big advantage. You know what I'm saying? And because these are people who actually care about you. And you're exposed to it young. And you're exposed to it very young. As opposed to Mike Tyson, all the talent in the world. And Mike Tyson is very smart too. But he didn't have that family support. He didn't have people in his corner who actually cared about him and were related to him and wanted to see him do well. The people, he had nothing but bloodsuckers around him.
Right. He had that one guy, I think his old trainer.
His trainer, yeah.
Yeah, when he passed away, I think right after that was downhill.
Exactly.
He kind of went psycho and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So boxing, like, what are you saying? Boxers need to have a great support system, like people that actually do care about them, versus the best manager that you can afford, the best trainers you can afford.
It's integral, man. It's integral. We have enough. We have enough social proof already, man, that the top fighters pretty much always have good family support, a good network. Yeah, Habib. Yeah, it's pretty much. There's always exceptions, but the general rule is they need to have people in their corner who generally care about them, genuinely. You know what I mean?
Right. And also, in recent news, Floyd got a fight with some YouTuber named Deji. I don't know who that is, but like, what the heck is going on here? Why is a professional Hall of Famer fighting a YouTuber?
It does seem pretty damn ridiculous, doesn't it? It seems really ridiculous. Yeah. But if Floyd's thinking is different from everybody else, and that's why he's so damn successful. So I'm a traditional. I come from the traditional boxing way of thinking too. And at first, I thought it was stupid, like all this YouTube stuff. I was just like everybody else from the old school community. You know what I mean? Like, this is dumb. It's a disgrace. And then I started changing my thinking. I'm like, yo, if the game is changing and you don't change with it, you're gonna get left behind, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, I think the boxing, the promoters, there's a big thing where different promoters have different fighters, and they won't let the best fight the best. Like when it used to, like that's how it used to be back in the days.
Yeah. That's Ryan Garcia. He, he went viral for putting that out on Twitter, saying that boxing is so lame because no one wants to fight anybody. I should have the quote right here.
Yeah, let's hear.
Boxing is boring. Nobody wants to fight anybody. Right?
Big facts.
Like you said, the promoters play a role. Like, why do they have so much weight? Promoters.
It's ridiculous. It's all about the money. But going back to what I was saying is that because of this, fans constantly being disappointed and waiting and being disappointed and being disappointed and waiting. I feel like it gave room for these YouTube guys to sneak in the back door, and give their fans what they want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So instead of people being mad, like pay attention to what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at the end of the day, professional boxing, professional sports, it's all about the money, man. It's all about getting that bag.
Yeah.
So if you're not seeing that, and you're just mad because a lot of people are not getting paid the way they want, change your way of thinking, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Because what's it called? Dana White in UFC, he's done a great job because he's able to get the fans what they want. So he'll get the best fighters to fight the best fighters. Now, some people have said that they kind of want him to kind of intervene in a way, in terms of like the boxing.
Who said that?
Just Twitter, I guess. But not like create a league or anything like that. But just I don't know, just to try to get people to give the fans what they want. Because Ryan Garcia has been trying to fight that guy Tank.
Yeah.
And it's been getting delayed and stuff like that. Not making weight and stuff like that. So, like, why? Like, again, well, even though I've already asked this, but like, when will this type of thing stop? This type of corruption in the boxing world, and it's been happening for 100 years now.
I don't think it's going to stop, man. I think because these promoters, like I said, they have these fighters under these contracts,
right?
And so it's like, okay, let's just say you have a top fighter, I have a top fighter,
right?
But I have two top fighters,
right?
This is their thinking. Why would I have my top fighter fight your guy when I can have him fight my other guy, and all that money stays in our camp?
Oh, okay.
That's basically how it is. Why should I split it with you when I can just split it with my own camp? You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I would think though the fighter themselves, like, yo, I want to fight this guy. Like, Ryan Garcia wants to fight Tank.
Absolutely.
But there seems to be like you're mentioning some type of pullback or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I guess that's very, very unfortunate. But,
it is, man. And I think I don't know, this might be far-fetched, but I think at some point in the future, maybe that YouTube belt is going to be just as valuable as a WBA belt.
Wait, I didn't know this. There's an actual YouTube belt being made?
I don't even...
There is.
Is it a YouTube? Yeah, this Jake Paul and all these guys, man.
These guys have their own little network and everything.
I'm telling you,
like
listen, man.
A belt.
Yeah.
It's legitimate. It's legitimate.
There is a belt.
Yeah. So listen, man, 10, 20 years, we'll see, man.
What do you guys think about the YouTubers pulling their punches kind of thing? Like the whole big controversy going around, like, oh, people are just staging the fights. It's not real. Like the Andres, have you seen the Anderson Silva fight with
Yeah. Jake Paul.
I never seen it.
I watched it.
Who won?
But
Who won that?
That knockout, I don't know. I didn't see anything connect. I mean, that's just my...
How old is Silva? Isn't he like 50 something?
Yeah,
It's like 40, I think 47. He's in great shape. He's in good shape. I didn't watch the whole fight because I think it was the Lomachenko fight was happening the same night. So I was watching that fight, but then I caught a glimpse of the last couple rounds, and to me it looked like he caught him clean. It looked like it.
Yeah.
It looked like he caught him clean, but it was weird how Anderson Silva, who's normally a very careful guy, very methodical guy, kind of was just running into him with his chin sticking out. Yeah. He took a big shot. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know. I can't say.
Well, I totally forgot to mention too that Andrew Tate's fighting the other guy, Logan or whatever, Logan Paul.
That's confirmed?
Sorry, Jake Paul, excuse me.
That's confirmed?
Yeah,
okay.
They had this little thing there. Tate's a kickboxer. I don't know how he's gonna really beat Jake Paul. Wait, is it Logan Paul or Jake Paul? I keep messing it up.
Because he's gonna fight Jake, not Logan. He's gonna fight Jake.
Because Jake's the one that's been fighting.
Yeah. He's the better of the two. Yeah.
I would actually pay to see that. I don't know why, but I can feel to see that. Yeah,
Okay, so it's confirmed though, 100%.
like it was all over the internet. Maybe like what 3
okay.
days ago. Like they
Okay,
had like
okay.
their was it face off? I guess. Right, but no one's picked it up. It hasn't been on the news that
Okay.
like you know
Okay, okay,
the
okay.
YouTube league or whatever league you were talking about picked that fight up. But if you had to pick, who do you think would win?
I don't know if I can give a fair assessment because I know of Andrew Tate, but I've never watched him compete or fight. So I don't really know what his skill set is, to be honest.
He's a 4-time kickboxing champion.
Yeah.
Seen a couple
Okay.
of his fights. He's light on his feet. He's a hard hitter, so he's got experience.
Okay. How long has he been retired?
I think he's been retired for about, I think it was like 10, 15 years.
Oh,
But
okay.
he
That's a
still-
long
but he's-
time.
But he still keeps active and
Okay, okay.
still does his stuff.
So by default, I have to pick Jake Paul.
I still
Right.
pick Andrew.
What's the weight? What's the weight though?
I think
Is there
they're
any weight
roughly the
difference?
same weight, but Andrew has a
Okay.
longer reach.
Okay,
He's a lot
okay,
taller
okay.
than 266 something.
Interesting.
As far as
interesting.
like what the like what you're asking is like the weigh in, right? How much the fighters got to
Yeah,
do?
like how, like
I'm
what's
not
the?
even sure. I don't think
Okay.
it's even gotten that far. But which city in North America is producing the best boxers? I know people talk about Philly being grimy and stuff like that. Philly produces. But I think is it Floyd from Detroit or Michigan?
I can't say that there's a city that produces all the best boxers. They're coming from everywhere, man. They're coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
So I could say that the capital of boxing that I know of in the U.S. is Las Vegas, and then California also is like a big a place known as one of the boxing capitals. But the fighters come from everywhere. For us in Canada, the capital of boxing is Montreal. Believe it or not, for
I was
for
gonna
pro
ask
boxing.
You, I was
yeah.
gonna ask you exactly that. Like, where does Toronto fit into like the boxing scene or whatever?
Toronto's good, man. Tons of talent here. Tons of talent. They're coming from everywhere, man. Every gym has talent, man. Every gym has really good talent. But we're talking about amateur boxing. That's one thing. Pro boxing is something else. Pro boxing is Montreal is pro boxing. You know, so a lot of fighters after they're moving on from amateurs to pros, they normally go to Montreal to start their pro career. A lot of fighters that I know personally have done that too.
Right. Because I'm trying to remember who was like the last great fighter to come out of here, like out of like pro boxing. Was it George?
Okay, that's a good question.
What's that guy's name? George Follow? Is he
George
from-
was great too.
Is he from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from because he fought Ali or something.
He did, yeah. Fought Muhammad Ali twice.
Okay, I think he lost twice, right?
Yeah. And probably, you check this out, okay? Probably the greatest heavyweight, arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time is boxed out of Toronto for a little bit. What's his name?
Arguably the greatest
Heavyweight
ever?
of all time.
Lennox Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
But he's.
You're right.
But I thought he was like British Jamaican or something. I didn't know he actually no he has Canadian roots too. I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, his mom lives in Brampton, and he has business
I
there.
saw him.
Oh,
Yeah, he's still here. He's here. So yeah, he's all of that. He's Jamaican, he's British, and he's Canadian.
okay. But in the Olympics, what
He,
country?
he represented Canada, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
He represented
Canada.
Canada. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, do you know what gym he was working out of?
yeah. In Toronto, he was in the Atlas Boxing Club, so which is another legendary gym in Canada. It's been around a long time.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. I know
Yeah,
that
man.
Lennox Lewis. He fought Tyson after he kind of went crazy or whatever, but he beat Tyson there.
Tyson never went crazy.
Okay, no, I'm
Never
not say
went
crazy,
crazy.
but he kind of lost his way.
Yeah. It's hard,
bit.
man. It's hard. But you could say he fought Tyson past Mike's prime.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
But the question is, would he have beaten Mike in Mike's prime? He probably would have, man. To tell you the truth, they fought in the amateurs, and he beat Mike in the amateurs.
okay,
and then-
Lewis is like 6'5",
And he's a big dude,
super
man.
long
He's
arms.
super long, and the dude is a bad man. He's a bad man. So, had they fought when they were younger, who knows? But I could see Lennox beating him in their prime too.
Does Tyson beat Ali in both their primes?
In my opinion, no.
No.
Only because Muhammad Ali was just too fast on his feet. He wouldn't stand there for Mike to pound on him.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali was unbelievably fast for a heavyweight man.
Right.
You know, so I just don't think he would make it a fight where he would engage Mike.
Even Tyson said he would lose in a fight with Muhammad
Yeah,
Ali.
yeah.
He admitted himself.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you feel about Tyson versus Tyson Fury?
Mike versus Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
I'd have to go with Tyson Fury, man.
Yeah,
just
he's also really tall
just-
and stuff.
yeah.
But he looks like me. Like he was
It's
out of shape
humongous,
fighting. He's whacking dudes.
Yeah, it's just the size, man. The size is too much, man. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
He threw me all off my rhythms.
That is,
How does breathing play a role in training and also fighting in the ring?
oh man, breathing, proper breathing, good breathing is everything, man.
Right.
Everything. Yeah, you gotta learn how to breathe. You gotta learn how to coordinate your movements, your punching with your breathing.
Right.
You gotta learn. Yeah, you gotta make sure you're not holding your breath. A lot of beginners tend to hold their breath because of the nerves or whatever. But being aware of your breathing and coordinating your breathing, and yeah, it's super important, definitely.
Right, because I did see that Floyd said that he listens to his opponent's breathing
Yeah,
during the fights so that he knows what to do next. I'm like, this guy's a genius. Right?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Right? How, like you said, how often do like people training and fighting are like paying attention to a guy's breathing? Like how do you know like in the ring that someone's getting tired? Like if you just watch their feet, like is there certain
easy,
signals
man.
that people give off that, besides heavy breathing?
Yeah, I mean, normally when they're breathing heavily through the mouth, it's a clear sign. You know what I mean? That they're not only that, they're under a lot of stress. You know, there's a stress signals to the brain. You activate stress signals to the brain when you're, panting through the mouth. You know what I mean? So I always teach people, not even just in boxing, but just in life, man. Breathe through your nose.
Right.
Take deep breaths, slow your breathing down, and breathe through your nose as much as possible. You know.
Right. And I came to that tournament of yours. It was way back in, I can't say, was it June?
I think it was back in the days, 2017.
Yeah, it was Malvern. I forget what the Malvern community
Oh,
center.
this year.
No, it wasn't Malvern. It was next to the Costco there.
Ellesmere. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
this year, yeah.
Yeah, who's
okay.
the one kid that dropped that other kid in like 12 seconds?
Who was that, man? I don't remember that.
He was like some brown guy. It's like some brown kid.
That was my kid. Yeah.
Who's that kid?
That's my kid, Syria, man. He just won the provincial title, by the way.
I'll say a word.
So him and a couple other my guys, kids will be going to the nationals next year.
Yeah, and where does that take place?
It's in Quebec. Yeah, it's normally in Quebec.
Are they going up against Montreal opponents, like you mentioned, Montreal being
It
nice?
could be. So once you're the provincial champion, you'll fight other provincial champions in your weight class, and then the winner will be crowned the Canadian champion.
Okay. Where do you see the Canadian boxing scene turning into?
What do you mean exactly?
Like, do you feel like Canadian boxers can be up there with American boxers?
Absolutely, of course. So you were talking about pro or amateur though, because we have to
Both.
make the distinction. Okay.
Both.
So our national team, our provincial team is already doing really well on the international stage, bringing home gold and silver. We have a lot of great fighters on the international stage doing really well. The pros doing not as much, but still doing really well. But yeah, it's all about just getting out there. You know what I mean? Getting out there, and I don't really like the idea. Once you're pro, you're pro. Like I don't like to label fighters. Oh, this is a Canadian pro. Like once you're a pro, you need to get out there. You know what I mean? You got to wherever you have to go,
Right.
to get your recognition or get your paper. Then that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't like to label people by
That's fair.
their thing. That's just me.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Can you take me through like the exercises needed? Like when you're warming up for like a training session, what do you tell your students to do? And why do you tell them to do that?
Okay, so we normally start with something called dynamic stretching, which is basically moving the body. You do stuff like this, or moving your neck around or shoulders. Basically like light movements, just to get the blood circulating, and then get your body temperature up for more intense working out. You know what I mean? But then we'll go into the actual warm up, which would be like skipping, push-ups, squats. And then once your body is warm, and you could start doing more intense activities, the shadow boxing or the drills, the sparring, and all those things,
How long do you think a warm-up should be before they kind of get started, like sparring?
It depends. So, I mean, if it's like colder, like our gym never really gets that warm, especially in the wintertime, because it's not really insulated too well.
Right.
So we would do a much longer warm-up. It could be like half an hour, 20 minutes, because it takes a while for the body to get warm when the gym is cold,
Right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember training with you. It was
It
freezing
was
in there.
freaking cold, man.
Yeah, I was too shy to
Damn.
say, "Yo, turn the heat on."
Yeah, the heat was on full blast.
But
Yeah,
was
I'm gonna talk to
dying,
you.
man.
Yeah, it was rough in there. It's a little bit better now, but yeah, back then it was rough, man. It was rough.
I probably should have asked this earlier, but how old were you when you realized, okay, this is what I want to do? I want to teach kids,
Oh,
how to
okay.
fight and stuff like that, how to take care of themselves.
Age-wise, it was more like, just things I was going through at life, you know what I mean, that made me turn to that direction. So basically when I stopped boxing, I was like, okay, I'm done with boxing, you know what I mean? Like, it just wanted nothing to do with it for a while, you know what I mean?
Is it okay if I ask you what made you stop boxing?
Yeah. So I come from a Caribbean Catholic family, and then I became Muslim in my early 20s. MashaAllah. Yes, sir. Ahmed.
What
Ahmed.
is this?
So MashaAllah means that's what God willed.
Yeah.
So I became Muslim, and then I had some very some really profound life changes happen all at a very short period of time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Moved out of my house, got married, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta provide for this for my wife now. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have time to box right now.
Right.
I had to kind of man up. You know what I mean? And then we had a child a couple years later. My son, Khalid,
Yeah, I do.
so you know him.
Yeah.
And I used to take him to this rec center back in the days when he was young, maybe like 5 years old. We just go and hang out. But a lot of the kids used to ask me, man, hey, man, I heard you're a boxer, this and that, woo, woo, woo. Why don't you teach us? And I'm like, nah, I'm done with boxing, man. I want nothing to do with that. But anyways, they kept, asking me. And then eventually I just showed them a little, combination shadow boxing. And then that really hooked them, you know what I mean? They got super enticed by that. So then I finally agreed to start teaching them in the back of this masjid that I used to go to on Sundays. And there's about 5 kids plus my son, maybe about 4 kids and my son, and then my nephew also. And we were doing that every Sunday for months. And I was just really impressed on how they were learning and how enthusiastic they were and how they were taking it serious, you know what I mean? And then other kids started coming, and other kids started, my name kind of started to spread, you know what I mean? And then that's basically how I started, just a bunch of kids asking me to teach them. And then I ended up going to my friend's Muay Thai gym and started teaching there as well.
Okay.
So it was more like I never really wanted to do it. It's just people kept asking me. So then I took that as a sign from God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like my ego, like, hey, look at me. This is what I know. It's literally people calling me out one after, even the Muay Thai guys, hey, can you show us some things? And then the Muay Thai owner of the gym, a guy named Zubair, a good friend of mine, he asked me to start teaching his fighters. So that's basically what brought me out and led me on that path,
Well, that's good to hear, man. That's actually good to hear. Which athlete do you think outside of boxing would do well in boxing? And it doesn't have to be one. It could be like many athletes.
Which
like from other
athlete?
sports that maybe you watch or follow.
That's a good one. You guys can help me out here, man. I don't watch a lot of sports, to be honest.
The only thing
man.
I can think of is hoopers that have really long arms. Like if their wingspans are like super long, then maybe they'd be great fighters.
Kevin Garnett's already fighting on the court anyway.
Yeah, one of those type of guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot of sports, to tell you the truth, so it's kind of hard to say.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think maybe like a quarterback, like Tom Brady, you're throwing the ball all day, You're probably some used to that motion, tossing your hand. Maybe.
Tom Brady? Okay.
Okay, there's one thing though, okay? So they may be physically gifted, but taking a punch in the face is something else. No.
Right, yeah.
There's a saying by Mike Tyson, man.
Everyone has a plan to get punched in the face.
Punch in the face. That's a whole different ball game, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember that whole scuffle talking about Mike Tyson on the plane? Where the guy kept like pushing him. And he punched him.
Yeah.
But it was
neither.
it was deserved, man.
He set the guy straight, right?
You did, yeah.
Don't put your hands on people.
I know, yeah, that was messed up,
All
man.
the people in the world, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't-
He asked for it,
don't push your
man.
hands.
He did. It's big facts.
If you could have dinner with a boxer, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's a good question, man. I would say, Muhammad Ali for sure. Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
I shouldn't even have took so long to answer that one. It's one of my heroes.
Okay, how about another one besides him? Because I think Ali's the most common answer for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Manny Pacquiao is the Muhammad Ali for the Filipino people.
Yeah, 100%.
He's
Yeah, of
amazing
course.
like that.
Yeah.
And he is a hero, man. I give him all the props in the world, man.
Yeah.
Very humble. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hooping now too. I think he hoops
Is
in
he?
the Philippines. I could have sworn he was trying to be the mayor or something,
Yeah,
the president of the Philippines.
Yeah.
All right. Manny Pacquiao. Okay. Manny Pacquiao. I probably would say Floyd, to be honest.
Think so?
Yeah.
Floyd?
Yeah, I think he has a lot to share. Like if you ask him, he seems a little nervous in every interview because I think people because I think that maybe he tells like his handlers don't tell him to ask me about like let's say his personal life or whatever.
Okay.
Right? So anytime he speaks, it's as if he's waiting to hear something like slip from you.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, that's the way. No, honestly, like there are some times where like he'll talk normally stuff. Like other times he feels like something's coming.
You could
He'll
tell.
be like this right for your next question. Like, yo, chill, bro. Like,
I don't know if I want to have dinner with Floyd, but I would definitely love to sit with him and get some financial advice. That's for sure.
What do you guys think about that whole beef him and 50 had?
yeah, they're
That's an interesting topic.
That got really ugly, man.
they're like longtime
That got
friends.
really ugly.
Yeah, apparently they're longtime friends. Like they've been friends like pretty much when 50. Yeah, I'm not even sure if he was before he was rapping or early when he started, but they were longtime friends. So all the jokes and stuff that we see, we go, yo, that's crazy, right? But apparently they're like real like because 50 boxes. He used to box like that, right? He's an amateur boxer, so I think they knew each other from then. But the cat in the hat thing was funny.
That was funny. I can't lie. That was so funny.
Oh man, it was so embarrassing. It was so.
It was,
oh my goodness.
He destroyed Mayweather with that, man.
The whole ASL thing where it's like all the way $50,000
Yeah,
if you need a page of hair.
Right.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's a guy who goes over the top every time, man.
He had that meme when he photoshopped his head on some kid and Floyd's was the kid in front of him.
Oh yeah.
And then he's reading, he's like, today. The word is today, Floyd.
Yeah,
he's so crazy, disrespectful.
It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
He's the type of guy to troll his own kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
50, I think 50 because he's so mentally like super strong. I think he would have been a heavyweight champion. Like if he didn't rap and fought.
That's possible.
Right. Like the way he
but
thinks
yeah.
compared to like everybody else is like completely different.
The guy is despite that whole TV persona thing, the guy's very smart, man. He's very
Super
brilliant.
smart guy.
Yeah, he's very brilliant. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
You don't get to where you are from where you came from by being a dummy. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to really be methodical and strategic and think things out. You know what I mean?
Right. You heard of his book, right? The 50th Law? Like
I read it. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was terrific.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
street
yeah.
stuff, and I'm like, yo, this guy's genius.
Yeah, like how many rappers actually even couldn't even fathom writing a book? You know what I'm saying? It just tells you his mindset is different, man.
Right.
He didn't he work on it with Robert?
Robert.
Yeah.
If you read the 48 Laws of Power, whatever it is, it kind of mimics it in a way.
Yeah.
But
It does,
turns
yeah.
it into like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what was your favorite rule in that book? If you remember.
I don't remember, man. I read it a long time ago.
He had something called turn shit into sugar. That was one of his laws. I think it was like law number 9. I could be incorrect about that, but it's exactly what it says, like how to turn a bad situation into a good one. And what he was using was his drug dealing.
Okay,
like he bought washed down coke and crushed it more and sold it back and screwed his boy over or whatever. But I was like, oh, smart guy.
Creative, man. Creative.
Very, very, very creative. But there was something else I was going to ask you too. Who's the best right now? Like in the welterweight.
Who's in the welterweight? Oh, okay. The two big names everyone's talking about is Terrence Crawford and the guy he's supposedly ducking. Man. I'm not getting his name, man. Oh my god.
Isn't he also one of the guys ducking thing? Hold on, wait. Is Garcia in the same class as him?
No, I think Garcia went up. But Errol Spence. So they're supposed to be the two top dogs right now, and they're both undefeated. Everyone's calling for that fight, but again, here we are in the new era where they're not making it happen. You know what I mean? All these different promoters, different contractual agreements, and all this other crap. So we're not going to get to see that fight this year, unfortunately.
Okay. And who do you find to be the most feared fighter ever?
Ever?
Okay, how about now? Who's the most feared fighter in your opinion now, and the most feared fighter to ever lace him up?
It's hard to say, man. There's too many, man. There's thousands of fighters.
I'm gonna say Mike Tyson. The guy is
Mike Tyson was feared, though. He was
guy
feared, yeah.
in the ring and outside of the ring.
Yeah.
I was thinking like George Foreman.
Yeah, honestly, man, a lot of these guys were scary, man, and scared the hell out of people. Mike Tyson, he had the good media persona too to kind of amplify that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, a lot of guys are
I'll
scary,
eat your
man.
kids.
Yeah, I'll eat your kids. Yeah.
Wild stuff.
Some crazy stuff, man. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
He bit a dude's ear off, man.
Yeah. He did. You're right. He did bite that guy's ear off.
CB24 thing he had.
That
And
was
he stormed
epic.
off.
Yes,
Man, I
yes.
was waiting for this guy to get punched, man. I was watching it like eyes wide to the screen. I'm
that
like,
was-
yo, let's do it.
Yo,
I couldn't stop
I'll say-
laughing when I was watching. I
I'll
can't
say
lie,
this,
man. I
I was
could
in
not
tears. I was in tears when I saw that guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Why did you have to say that to Mike Tyson for? We know you're a convicted Who says that?
oh my God.
Who
I
says that?
heard from another source that one of his producers told him to ask that question.
Yeah, what a trash producer. Like,
I know,
who
stupid.
says that? But that whole thing was hilarious. Obviously, I can't repeat what was said.
I
but
know, it's
yo,
so-
I was
Jeez.
dying, bro.
Yeah, that was too funny,
There's
man.
an interview where you guys probably seen this, but the guy asked Tyson about his daughter, the one that died.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets too
Damn.
emotional, and then all of a sudden he just goes, "You know, you have to leave right now, right?"
Oh,
And the thing was done. And it's so serious up until the point where he gets up and he's like, "All right, who's gonna take this mic off?" You
Oh my goodness. Jeez. Yeah. Don't
No,
piss
I
off,
didn't see
man.
that.
see that like he's scary. He's a scary dude, man. Like he got
Oh, yeah.
real worked up, as he should have, because he's talking about his daughter.
Yeah.
He's like, "You know, you have to leave right now, right?" The guy's like, "All right, let's get the."
Damn.
Ooh.
Straight
Okay.
G checked him.
Yeah,
Damn.
I didn't see that. But he seems to be doing pretty good now, like mentally and stuff like that. He got back
Yeah.
in shape.
Yeah,
He was
man,
supposed
amazing.
to fight
He fought somebody.
what's that guy? The light heavyweight champion, the super dangerous guy. Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah. They had their
And
dad. That was
fight got-
amazing, man.
That fight
was
got canceled, didn't it?
No, they fought, man. They fought. Roy
When?
Jones and Mike Tyson, yeah, they fought, man.
Wasn't that
It
the
was,
whole YouTube thing?
it was when was that, last year? It was last year or the year before. Yeah, no, they fought. It was a good fight, man.
I thought they canceled that for some reason. I'm losing my mind.
It happened. Yeah.
Who won that?
I
I think Mike lost.
I think it was a draw. Wasn't it a draw?
No, it was a draw.
I think it was a draw, yeah.
But who was running it? Do you remember the producer? I thought it was the YouTube guys running
It's
it.
called like Triller. I don't even know who.
Yeah,
I don't know who's
so-
behind
yeah,
that.
So that's
Yeah.
actually Logan Paul and Jim
Is it?
Wilson. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
They set it up. Yeah.
I did not know that. Wow.
okay.
But it was well done, man. It was Roy Jones was not one of my heroes as a boxing fan back in the days too. So it's good to see those two guys, jump in the ring.
Yeah, I saw videos. You know what? I've seen videos of you sparring. Well, not of you sparring, but you teaching. And I can see why you say Roy Jones, because he has the same way, the way he jabs. And
Yeah,
he does
yeah,
that
yeah.
move where he moves to the side a lot. You called it a name in one of your videos. I
Okay, yeah.
forget.
He was so athletic, man, and just really gifted, man. And yeah, he's one of the guys I used to watch a lot when I was coming up.
Did you hear a story about how he confronted Fat Joe?
Yeah. That was hilarious. That
Because
was
Fat
good.
Joe said something to him.
Yeah.
in one of his tracks, and then he caught him. I can't remember if it was an airplane hotel bathroom.
I don't know, but I don't know. Apparently, he almost caught some too, man. You know what I mean? I think Fat Joe's boys came, and Roy Jones left the building just in time, type of thing. From the way they told it, anyways.
Really?
From the way
Okay.
Fat Joe told it, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the opposite. I thought that Roy Jones caught Fat Joe and like three of his boys or something like that, and he had him shook.
Yeah, that was the first
He
part.
was gonna KO.
Yeah.
Fat Joe at the time, right?
That was the
Did you
first
guys
part.
hear the Mike Tyson and Fat Joe encounter?
No.
Fat Joe and some other guy were getting punked,
Mm.
and all you hear Mike Tyson in the background. Yo, let's get these punks. He turns out it's Mike Tyson.
Yeah?
And the guy
Oh,
just
shoot.
straight up.
Damn. Wow.
This
Yeah.
guy just tells the story. The way he tells it is hilarious. I can't do any justice to it, but man,
He's a good storyteller, man. Good
Oh, yeah.
storyteller. He
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Besides boxing, though, what are you interested in? Like, what do you do as like hobbies and stuff like that? Because like I know you have kids and stuff, but what do you like to kind of do to kind of unwind?
A couple things. This might be hard to believe, but I'm a bookworm. I love to read, man.
Yeah?
I have stacks of books, and
What was the last book you read?
the book I'm reading right now is about. You ever heard of? I don't want to mention the book. People know it's called Neuro-Linguistic Programming.
Neuro-linguistic.
It's basically how language affects our nervous system, and it's there's a lot of different things. But I like to read like stuff like not. I don't read fiction. I read like anything to do with how the mind works, how our body works,
Right.
history. Oh, I'm reading a book on Khalid bin Walid.
Okay.
Radiyallahu anhu.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book. Yeah, so that's another book. I'm reading 2 books, but that's the book I'm reading too. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
an amazing story.
That neurologist thing, I actually heard a study they did on ice or water. This guy would yell at the water before freezing it and this and that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it turns out the water would shape a different way.
Yeah, that's
Or
facts.
way. So, I
That's
mean,
facts. Yeah,
language is a big
it's
thing.
powerful, man. It's powerful.
Really?
But if you go further, man, if you think about it, like we're 90% or so, what, 7% water, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is it doing to us? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
On a cellular level.
Right.
But what else I like to do? I love to dance, man.
You're a dancer?
I love people know me in the gym, boxer by day, dancer by night.
Are you in there by yourself with the lights off?
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
right.
Don't even go there, man. Don't even go there, man.
Dirty dance.
No, but
Really
seriously,
dancing, for real?
I
Okay.
actually I was once training with a breakdancer, the world class guy, and he was showing me some stuff. He's come to the gym, before class, and we do some breakdancing, and then I also got into some salsa too. I do a little bit of salsa. So
Okay.
yeah, man. I mean,
Just keeps you light on your toes.
so yeah, a couple things. I mean, it does have a good crossover into boxing. I always say, dancing and boxing is like a good marriage. You know what I mean? There's a lot of footwork, coordination, rhythm, balance, all these sort of things. But I just like to dance, man. It's
Okay.
fun.
Okay, well, you didn't teach me to dance. So you said Abdi over here. Abdi over here.
Yo, you
duck
missed
this,
that.
slip this.
I actually incorporated a lot of dance moves in some of our training. Like we'd have do you remember back in the days, I don't know if you used to come, but on a Saturday we used to do a lot of footwork. And then I would incorporate some of the breakdancing drills, some like sea walk drills, stuff like that too. It was pretty dope, man. It was fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is all news to
So
me.
you gotta-
man. Wow.
you gotta
so you're
come
a
back.
dancer, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Scarberian Dancing Club.
When I say I was, yeah, to put on what do you call
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
dancing lights,
Sorry, boxing
yeah.
/ dancing club.
So how'd you get up with this name, Scarberian? I hope I didn't butcher that name.
No,
Scar-
Don't ends.
Yeah, Scarberian.
Actually-
Yo,
I'm
don't
sorry,
talk to
are
this
you
guy.
Scarborough too?
This guy lives in the West End, man. This guy lives in the West End. He's a West End.
So you know
dude,
what's fun? Actually, you guys gave us that name. People from West End and downtown. This is actually an old name.
Scarberia.
So this is the thing. Like this is what the elders tell me, anyways. Even my parents told me this. Like back in the early days, maybe like the 70s or whatever. Scarborough wasn't as developed as the West End and downtown. So you guys used to say, you're going all the way to Scarberia. If someone had to go over there. You guys going way out to Scarberia?
I guess it's still the same now, right?
Yeah.
The West End's
No.
still up there.
Chill.
That's what. So basically, it's an old name. I kind of just revived it and I labeled it and I put a boxing club after it. Scarborough. So if you're from Scarborough, you're Scarberian. You're Canadian, you're Canadian.
Right.
You know what I mean? So and if then the name really resonated. If you're from Scarborough, I'm sure that resonated with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm on Markham and Kingston Roadside, so.
Okay, yeah. I know those
I
signs. I
remember
know
the first time Abdi asked me, the first thing he asked me, what's your name? Okay, because where you from? I'm like, oh, the West End. I live right here. Oh, you're a West End guy.
Yeah.
That's it.
He literally threw the whole office into like a turf war. All these East Enders, these West Enders. You remember?
And I was like caught in the middle because I love the West End, but I'm from Scarborough.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've established the East End is the best end,
East side is the sweet side.
yo, tell me some fire restaurants that you eat at or you take your fighters to eat at.
Okay. There's one place I like to go for breakfast a lot. It's called Sunset Grill.
Okay.
Shouldn't I get some kind of like paid sponsorship? Because I'm advertising people for free, man.
Yo, I'll tag them in. I'll tag them in the video.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll tag
So
them in
I
the
mean,
video.
they're cool, man. Yeah, we go there a lot.
Yeah.
I go there with my wife a lot and take her for breakfast. For dinner, who's good, man? I don't really like to eat out too many places, to be honest, man. There's a Somali place, man. You know Sahan?
Of course I know Sahan.
Sahan
Yeah,
is
that place
epic,
is nice.
bro. It's
yeah.
nice, yeah. So shout out
Yeah,
to them.
we drove
They're-
by the other day.
yeah.
I told him I was
They're
gonna take
nice,
him there
they're
one
nice,
day.
they're nice.
Trying to take me there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
Sahan is dope. Sahan is dope.
For you guys in the West End, it's Hamdi's.
Yeah, Hamdi's.
Hamdi's
Yeah.
is nice too. You been there?
We were actually looking at the menu.
Okay.
Because he was trying to introduce me to Somali food. I was like, oh, I'm down, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good,
I
man. It's
would
really
love to
good.
try Somalian food.
Somali is
I've tried
is really
Ethiopian
good,
food.
man.
The
Ethiopian
little-
food is good too,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
I tried their injera bread for the first time. I didn't know what it was. So I was like, why is it so salty? But then the guy was teaching me, like, oh, you had to take out the bread, eat it with the meat and this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Sahan's gonna get a shout out, and
Yeah.
you said Sunset Grill.
Sunset Grill for breakfast. Hamdi's, of course, is blessed too.
Yeah.
Oh, then there's Affy's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Affy's,
Yeah,
Prem-
Affy's
Affy's
nice.
Premium Grill. Yeah,
Affy's is
okay.
nice too.
Okay.
I want all those guys to give me a special discount when I come in now.
So
Yeah, I'll tag him in. Be like, yo.
my son lives in Scarborough, so does that do I get affiliated into this? Like,
See, unfortunately, he only has Burger King. And
Jeez.
roast the West End.
every pod. I gotta roast it. Oh, you're East Ender. Okay, I respect you.
Yeah,
Yo, you seen the LRT line?
I've seen a little bit of it. Yeah,
Complete waste of money.
Unbelievable waste of money, man.
Complete waste of money.
Jeez, yeah.
And all them buildings there are now like $1,800 a month. And you see how raggedy and
Yeah, man. I don't know.
You know, I've asked all these guys in private conversations if Toronto's in our future. Like, can we like afford to live here?
I know, man.
Right?
Yep. You're right. Yeah.
No. I don't know. It's
crazy.
Maybe you might have to run a club from like some middle of nowhere Ontario one day, or Alberta, or Saskatchewan. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was thinking Mexico, but hey, I mean, North Ontario is the next best thing, I guess. So okay.
North Ontario, the best.
You know things are bad when it comes to that.
Yeah. Country boy every day.
Country boy, yeah.
What up, country boy?
Fresh air, man. Yeah.
But yo, I'm pretty much done, man. I think I've asked you everything I need to. Anybody have any questions you guys want to ask?
I have one question. I mean, I used to do football, so I did a couple physical sports. I know the one thing that growing up, I mean, in the beginning, like I did judo and I did football. I took it very personal, you know, like hitting, because it's a physical sport. You're hitting someone. You know, I went into it being a young guy in high school, being like, okay, you know what? This is my enemy. As I got older, you know, I kind of got out of that mentality. Like, you didn't take it too personal. I mean, in boxing, what's that mindset before?
It's just going off.
We used to have like that.
It's going off right now. No, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay, sorry. He whispered something, putting spells on me. Yeah, but in boxing, is that the kind of same flex? Like, you did mindset before a fight, you know, it's like, this is my enemy, I gotta break you down, this and that, and blah, blah. Or is it like, okay, you know what, this is a friendly kind of match. Like, what's that mindset you go into a match?
That's a great question, man. I remember as a young fighter, I was very similar. I kind of sometimes take it a little bit too personal, which I don't think is a good thing.
No, for sure.
You don't want to have those type of emotions going into a competition. What I teach my guys and my girls, our fighters, is really you're not focusing on winning or losing or hating that person. You're basically trying to execute something, trying to execute a game plan. Your whole focus is this is what you want to do, this is what you want to avoid. You know?
Point A to point B.
Exactly, yeah. It's more of like a strategic thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I wouldn't promote like negative emotions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because those things can like spill over afterwards.
You, I know like some athletes go into like this hyper focus. Like I know Wayne Gretzky was saying like time slows down for him when he when you play it. Because then same with boxing. I know Floyd says what Abdi was saying. Like he can read a person's breathing. Like, have you ever been in that kind of situation? Like how does that like take a toll on a boxer?
I've had that. You know what was interesting when I was competing? I've had those moments where like things really slow down. Unfortunately, I wasn't in boxing long enough to be able to keep doing it over and over. I didn't know how to do it at will. It would just happen sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
And I hear it's very straining on the body too. Like kind of going into that. So.
Oh yeah. You think you could
Actually, I do have a question to ask you. What's an easier opponent to beat? An angry boxer or a boxer that is very quiet and timid and doesn't really like their outside approaches to not say anything?
I mean, you can't really tell. Okay, so I'll talk about the first one. An angry boxer normally is going to forget about his defense, you know, because when you're angry, all you're thinking about is lashing out. So number one, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and number two, you're probably gonna burn a lot of energy, and then you'll be very vulnerable after that.
Okay.
So I mean, in terms of like the quiet and timid guys, is that what you said?
Yeah, versus somebody who's just antisocial.
Well, I mean, I don't know how that's gonna play out in the ring, but I do find guys who are and girls who are very confident. They normally don't have much. They don't really talk too much. But the people who are not as confident, they might, talk a lot more. And I call that bravado. You know what I mean?
Right.
That saying where actions speak louder than words, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I know that you train like people of all ages and girls as well. What do girls do better than guys when they're learning how to box? In your opinion?
You know what? I mean, it's not just my opinion, but a lot of coaches have said this: is that girls tend to be easier to train because they have less ego than guys. Guys, they want to question everything. They want to kind of do sometimes things their own way. Whereas most women, they're kind of, they just want to get it down. They want to master something, and then they actually, some of the best boxers in Canada are females. Some of the most accomplished fighters in Canada are females.
Okay.
Because they stick to the game plan. They're super focused and disciplined, whereas guys can be distracted, or most often it's our egos that get in the way.
Right.
Just too much ego. And women don't, and from boxing, women tend to be less egotistical and more interested in actually executing.
Right.
You know what I mean? What needs to be done.
Do you recommend that people learn each skill instead of trying to grasp everything all at one time? Like, do you teach your fighters to learn footwork first before they, get into the ring and spar?
Yeah, it's like learning anything else, right? It's like step by step. Like you don't learn all the 6 punches. Oh, so sorry about that.
It's all right, no problem.
I thought my ringer was off.
No problem. All right. You guys are not going to see it, but Camilla's walking out right now.
Yeah, it was nice.
Boo! Boo!
Shout out to Scarborough.
Later.
Yeah, sorry, I swear I thought that was off, man.
No, that's all good. No worries.
So yeah, it's like anything else, man. It's one thing at a time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Human beings don't learn when you throw everything at them. You gotta, like when you're learning how to read, you gotta learn the alphabet first, right?
Right.
And then you gotta learn how to put a sentence together and so forth. So it's like step by step until you learn the basics and you move forward after that.
You gotta learn how to crawl before you run, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so multitasking would be a no-no, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. I believe in unitasking, one thing at a time.
One thing at a time. Okay. All right, man. Look in that camera and tell them where to find you.
You can find us on the east side, the sweet side, in Scarborough, East Toronto, Scarberian Boxing Club. It's on 2250 Midland Avenue, Unit 29. And we're very close to the Scarborough Town Center, the big mall there. If you're ever around, come check us out.
All right, and we out of here. Peace.